In this shiur, which is dedicated to Ilu Nishmas Rachaleya Bas Rav Chaim Tzvi, we are going to be discussing, as we had mentioned in the last shiur, Tehillim Pei. We noted that there are three prokim in Sefer Tehillim that are thematically very similar, and they are the prokim Mem Dalid, which we have studied recently, and the Perek Ayin Tes, which also we've studied recently. And in this year we're going to focus on Perek Pei. Let's just remind ourselves, when we examine, for example, Perek Mem Dalid, here the Perek in Tanakh speaks about, again, let's look at it for a moment, the early psukim. We speak about Elokim bi'ozneinu shamanu, Avosenu sipru lanu, Poal to be meyem b'mei kedem, all that Hashem Yisbarach has done for us. Ata yodcha goyim havashta v'titoim, Torah le'umi v'tashalchem. We were planted in Eretz Yisrael to be emu v'sita emu v'al nachaloscha. And in effect, Hashem drove away the denizens, the 7 nations who inhabited Eretz Yisrael. Ki lo b'charbam yashu haaretz uzroim lo shiur lamo. It was not through our own sword. It wasn't kochiv yotzim yodi yasal yisachayil hazeh, but rather ki yamincho zracha v'or panecha ki b'tzisam. Hashem was desirous of Klal Yisrael. And the psuk in the beginning of Mem Dalid are obviously describing an ideal relationship between Hashem Yisbarach and Klal Yisrael. Pasukei Atu Malki Elokim Tzaveh Yeshuos Yaakov Bechot Tzorenu Ninageach. We're going to gore our adversaries. B'Shimcha Novus Kameinu Kilo B'Kashti Evtach V'Chai Biloso Shieni Kio Shatonu Mitzorenu Umisaneinu Hevi Shosa. So here this chelek of the mizmor is on a very high note, and in fact we are thankful to Hashem Yisbarach for all that which He has wrought on behalf of Klal Yisrael. But suddenly we have a change of tone in Pasuk Yud. Hashem has cast us off. We retreated from our enemies that began to ravage and plunder. We were scattered. There was a terrible Chil Hashem. We became the subject of humiliation in the eyes of our enemies. And here we have Chirufim v'Gidufim in Pasuk Yud Zayin. They are involved in blasphemy, Kol Zos, and yet despite everything we remain committed to Hashem Yisbarach. Kol Zos b'asnu v'lo shchachanucha v'lo shikanu v'bisecha. The bris between Klal Yisrael and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Netzach Yisrael lo yishaker. The bris will not be undone. We will not do anything to abolish, to rescind the bris. We are committed despite everything. Pasuk Yites, lo nasogo choli beinu vatet ashurin u'minerchecha, ki digi sonu b'nkom tanim, vatchasolenu b'tzalmovis. Chas v'sholom, that we should forget the Shem Hashem Yisbarach there in Pasuk Aleph. Hashem can investigate it. He knows the secrets of our heart. We are ready to be Mason and Lecha Haragnu Kol Hayom Nechshavnu Kitzoin Tivcha, and therefore we ask Hashem Yisbarach, Ura Lama Sishan Hashem Hakitzal Tiznach Lo Netzach Lama Fanecha Tasni. Why the Hester Ponim Kuma Es Vasalonu Ufdeinu Liman Chastecha. So we have a mizmor that's clear, divided into two. One, we are, shall we say, on a high note with Hashem Yisbarach, and then in the middle suddenly there's a major jarring kind of disruptive shift and change, but ultimately we are maintaining our commitment. We will not renege, we will not move despite the tsar and tzara and stress and anguish that we underwent. And ultimately we ask Hashem Yisbarach, Kuma Zasalanu Deinu Leman Chastecha. That's Tehillim Mem Daled. Ayin Tes, which we also have studied. There again we speak about the destruction of Yerushalayim, the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash. Mizmor la'asav Elokim bo goyim menachalasecha, timu esecha kodshecha. A rather bleak description. Some of this Yerushalayim le'im, nosnu divasav machal le'uf hashamayim, psar chasidecha l'chayis haaretz, shvichas domim, and again the same thing that we encountered in Mem Dalid, in Pasuk Dalid there of Ayin Tes. Hayinu cher polish chayneinu, lag v'kelos l'svivoseinu. And we ask Hashem, Admo Hashem ten avon netzach, tiva kamosh keishin asecha. We ask Hashem, Nekama, against the Goyim. And when we studied this mizmor, we pointed out the different segments of the mizmor, how it's built so beautifully, in a chiastic kind of way. And we ask Hashem Yisbarach, Al tizkol an avodus yishonim, maher yikamunu rachamecha, let Hashem's compassion come swiftly towards us. Ki dalonu miyod, ozreinu elokei yisheinu al v'akvot shemecha. And continuing in the different segments of the Kama, that it should be returned to our enemies. And finally, of course, the bottom line is Va'anachnu amcha v'tzom avisecha neidel chol ha'olam v'dor v'dor nisaper tilasecha. Just as we had seen in Mizmor of Mem